The room was silent except for the soft hum of machines hidden behind smooth metal walls. 30 students sat at identical desks, their faces tense, their hands resting flat on the surface in front of them. No one spoke. No one dared to move. This was not an ordinary classroom, and this was not an ordinary test. This was the final exam. For years, each of them had trained for this moment. From childhood, they had been taught logic, mathematics, psychology, and the careful art of problem solving. They were told again and again that intelligence was the highest virtue, that the future of humanity depended on clear thinking and correct answers. Now, at the end of their education, only one test remained. A test so important that failure meant more than disappointment. It meant elimination. A calm mechanical voice filled the room. It had no emotion, no warmth, only certainty. "You may begin," it said. A sheet of paper appeared on each desk, printed with a single question. No long explanations. No multiple pages. Just one question. Most of the students frowned in confusion. Some felt a surge of relief. Others felt fear tighten their chests. The question was simple, almost too simple. A student named Alan stared at the paper, reading it again and again. He had expected something complex, something that required deep calculation. Instead, the question seemed childish. He wondered if this was a trick. Everything in their education had taught them that nothing was simple without reason. Around him, pens began to move. Some students wrote quickly, confidently. Others hesitated, chewing their lips, their eyes darting as if the walls themselves might be watching them. Alan forced himself to breathe slowly. Rushing was dangerous. Overthinking was dangerous too. He needed balance. He considered the purpose of the exam. They had been told this test would decide who was fit to join the ruling scientific council, who would guide the future of Earth. Only the best minds would be allowed to survive and lead. Those who failed would quietly disappear, never spoken of again. The system was efficient, logical, and cruel. Alan began to analyze the question from every angle. He thought about ethics, probability, and human behavior. He thought about what answer the examiners expected. But the more he thought, the more uncertain he became. The question refused to reveal its secret. Across the room, a girl named Mira sat perfectly still. She was known as one of the brightest students in the class, but her eyes were calm, almost sad. She reread the question once, then placed her pen down. She closed her eyes briefly, as if remembering something distant, something human. The time indicator on the wall began to glow softly, counting down the minutes. With each passing second, the tension increased. A few students wiped sweat from their foreheads. One student let out a small, broken laugh before covering his mouth in terror. Alan finally